Accessing archives. Login accepted. Holographic imaging activated. Engaged.
Welcome to Trail Zen mountain biking, where we don't wear skinny jeans or need to pull up our panties to get to work. I'm your host, Budget Prime. This channel is dedicated to the pursuit of fun on mountain bikes, while disconnecting from the matrix and jacking into nature at full send. Is 40 years old too old to start? Old Dick never bothered to ask himself that question. He happened to have a Huffy sitting around one day when he was asked if he wanted to go mountain biking. Yes, was his answer. And yes, you heard that right. He actually started his mountain biking journey on a Huffy. He isn't dumb. He knew damn well that Huffy was a complete POS compared to real mountain bikes. He also knew he was old AF compared to the group of guys he'd be riding with. However, it was an opportunity to try something new. It was also an opportunity for him to be more physically active again. He missed being active and loved being out in nature.
That's pretty cool.
The decision to say yes was a no-brainer. Equipment and age be damned. Don't get it twisted. This ain't no fairy tale. Our boy here had 99 problems, but a lame-ass excuse was never one.
Fucking fucker!
The most obvious problem being equipment. He needed a real mountain bike. In only 5 rides, he rode that poor Huffy into the ground before pulling the trigger on a Polygon Xstrata 6. Not the greatest, but he didn't want something easy to ride, because his second problem was his poor fitness levels. He needed to continue to torture himself. He had become too soft. He needed to beat his lungs into submission and recondition his legs. A heavier hardtail was perfect for this. Despite all these issues, Dick set himself a goal. He fantasized about shredding down gnarly black technical trails, as well as epic flow trails with sweet jump lines as he suffered along his first few rides. He gave himself 1 year to accomplish this. Let's join Dick along his journey. Words from our boy Bo will be along for this ride if you find yourself struggling with lame-ass excuses and not being able to reach goals of your own. He has a particular way of motivating you that we here at Trail Zen resonate with. You can find him at Legion of Men, a no-bullshit community for men filled with men like Old Dick and many others who have accomplished great things in life and are willing to share their failures and successes, so that others with less experience can learn to transcend their bug sandwich existence in life. Old Dick admires the accomplishments of Bo and others there who are far younger. Age means nothing.
Richard's coming. We're gonna see how much air he gets. Here we go. Here comes the Dick. It's coming in hot, coming in low. Nailed it.
Oh, do you gotta get the pleb Huffy?
Photog. Believe it or not, there's people that don't make it through the woods on Huffy. No. Others come back the second time.
I really feel like one of them.
You're here for a second round.
I'm 43, I gotta do something.
What's going on, tribe? I'm here in the park in Bucharest answering a question some guy sent in the private community. He asked, is 40 years old too late to start? It is if that's going to be your mentality in life. If you literally think 40 years old is too late to start, or you even bother with some rudimentary question that some second grader would ask, then you're already on the wrong path. It's never too late to start. The only worst thing you can possibly do than ask that question is not starting at all.
They were looking for me. You're also 10 years younger.
What, than you?
Yeah. Everything starts to turn to shit when you get to 40. I didn't believe it.
You feel better after a cool down break, Mitch?
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll crash again in about 5 minutes. I'm good. I got no stam, yo. I'm old as f***, and this bike weighs 100 pounds coming up these hills.
It's a long road to 80, my friend. You're probably going to end up living to that too. If not at least 65, what the hell are you going to do for the next 20 plus years of your life? Sit there and wonder if it's too early to get going? Get off your ass and make something of yourself? Or are you stuck in that social media trap of comparing yourself? Why are you comparing yourself to people in the first place? It's a thief of joy, and your path in life is going to be different anyways.
I am going to meet the others a little further up the trail. They're going to go hit this section called the Whoops, which I'd love to go hit, but the humidity is just killing me. My heart's starting to palpitate and act weird, so I'm going to go meet them up here. Heart thing's a normal thing for me with my thyroid issues. My levels are always going up and down, and it makes my heart do weird shit. Whoop whoop. Basically, I've had thyroid problems for the last 15 years of my life or so, and it's hyper instead of hypo, so it's a little harder to regulate with medication. And I'm very adverse to taking radioactive iodine to basically kill it and then go on Synthroid the rest of my life. I'm just swapping one lifetime medication for another at that point, so to me there's really no point. I guess it would be easier to regulate with the Synthroid, and maybe one day I'll do that. So for the longest time, a lot of years, wasn't able to do anything very cardiovascular. Basically, my heart would start palpitating terribly, which could kind of lead to tachycardia sometimes, which is never a good time. Since I started exercising again, it hasn't been too bad, but then my thyroid levels have been jumping around a lot lately, so it's getting harder to regulate, which basically means either I have too much medicine or not enough, which means the thyroid's too overactive or underactive. And when it's overactive, for some reason, really affects my heart. To be honest, I actually feel better physically when I'm hypo. My heart rate's a lot lower, and so is my blood pressure, but I'm getting too old to not exercise anymore because of it. It beats sitting around the house, that's for sure. I'm here, waiting on them. I like the crayon. That's cute.
The real question you should be asking is, what have I done up until 40 years old that has gotten me in this exact position in life? What can I do for the next 30, 40 years of my life in order to not repeat this mistake and become somebody? What's my plan at 40 plus? What starts today? What the hell is it too late to start at 40? Start what? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? Try and start a homestead? I don't know, bro. What the fuck is your question? Is 40 years old too late to start? Ask a real adult and manly question, which would go like this. In the next 6 months, I want to drop 40 pounds. How do I achieve that? What's my plan to action? Do you have one? Doesn't sound like it if your question is, what do I do at 40? It's like the newcomers in the gym that say, well, I just want to lose weight. In 2 weeks, they're gone. They get that happy dopamine rush of saying they're going to do something. 2 weeks later, it ends. The grind begins. The day-to-day where nobody's clapping for you. You don't get to repeat your goals. It feels like shit. There's no more positive reinforcement. Your body, your mind will try to break and go against you. And that's when we're going to find out if you're a man or not.
So, my mistake is trying to keep up with these and I wear myself out too quick. Then I'm dead. It's a marathon, not a sprint, Dick. You know, last week, Andrew and I were on the C&O Canal, and it was like 98, 99, and a lot less humidity. So I can take the heat. I don't know what it is about the humidity, but ever since my thyroid took a poop on me, the humidity, man, just saps the life out of me. So I don't know if any of you know what tachycardia is or palpitations. You know, most of the time it's not serious. You know, you can just get it from palpitations from caffeine and whatnot. Just something that's always in the back of my head. Anytime my heart starts palpitating, I'm like, just stop doing the physical activity, because I ended up in the hospital with tachycardia twice, and I don't ever want to go there and deal with that ever again. Dude, it's fucking crazy how much I sweat. I've already gone through 1.5 liters of water. We haven't even really gone that far. But yeah, the humidity just kills me. I can do it, but I gotta take frequent long breaks. And I don't want to hold anybody else up from doing the stuff they want to do. Now,
enough riding your non-existent nuts. It's okay, I understand. We're in the new era of modern masculinity today. Most of us don't have the tools, have never been taught. Some of us have never had fathers. I understand, it's not easy. But at a certain point, especially at 40, you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
Don't let your health issues prevent you from getting out and actually being active in life. You'll regret it. I regret not being out and being a little bit more active over the last 15 years or so. And I'm paying the price now for it, but you gotta start somewhere. At this point in time, I'd like to be in much better physical condition, but I will take what I can get. At least I'm out here doing what I can. Can't ask for anything more than that. It also helps if you find people that kind of have the same interest in you in life, kind of match your personality. I've been lucky enough to meet a group of guys that I ride with that I have a really good time, you know. Going out on the trail is something I actually look forward to every Sunday. And other times as well. You know, Andrew and I just went on that misadventure on the C&O Canal. That was entertaining. That was quite challenging. I've been riding with these guys for almost a solid year now, you know, and we encourage each other to progress our physical fitness and our skill levels and everything. So, yeah. I can't complain about that, and I actually think I hear the ass clowns coming now.
Your externalities are completely irrelevant. You're past being a little boy lost with no answers. It's time to make some changes. It's time to take accountability. I know, you're responsible for exactly the place you ended up in life. That hurts your feelings, I understand. I'm not here to pat you on the back, hold your balls for you, and tell you everything's gonna be okay. If you don't fucking get a move on at 40, whatever age you're at, you're gonna fall behind and life is gonna get exponentially worse for you. Father Time spares no man, and he's not about to start with your ass. And this is just a little lesson I want you guys to internalize here. When you start out a plan, when you have a dream or a goal or a vision in your mind about who you want to be, what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to start, whatever it is, man, it doesn't matter. You have to be super specific with whatever you want. You have to visualize it, exactly being in that moment, exactly doing all the things you need to do. You need to completely rewire in your mind who you are as a human being. You are the badass version of yourself that does everything they're supposed to and shows up every single day, no matter how they feel, no matter what the fuck's going on, and especially when life starts to pressure you with bad news.
It's not an exaggeration how bad Old Dick's journey began.
Come on, you can do it, Huffy. You can do it, Huffy.
This here is his first ever downhill experience. Every goal has a beginning, no matter how pathetic.
Squeaky, she's screaming.
Is that bottle rocket?
She's screaming. Woo! Oh, okay. We got some burn. Woo!
Almost 1 year later, after upgrading to a full squish Polygon Siskiyou T7 and learning how to control his breathing to slow down his erratic heart rate, this downhill is much less pathetic. This trail was at Woodstock, Maryland, where the climbs outweigh the downhills by far. Everyone in the tribe was miserable that day, especially since they were riding with a dude on an e-bike. While everyone tried to keep pace with it, Old Dick remained steady at his own sustainable pace. A few months later, with the first bike park trip scheduled, Old Dick and the tribe got their first taste of a flow trail with jumps at Bacon Ridge Skills Park. Completely unprepared and overwhelmed was the group takeaway. It wasn't looking good.
Now, once you fix that step one of working on your self-image, it's now time to put things into action. I'm not gonna bullshit you and say it's easy. It's not a 1 step, 2 step, 5 steps to this. It's not do these 6 things for 30 days and you're a changed man. This is a battle you're gonna have the rest of your fucking life. It's not easy, dude. Consistency is the hardest damn thing to achieve in this world.
After the reality check at Bacon Ridge, Old Dick knew he had to find a solution to the dilemma he and the tribe were slapped in the face with. They couldn't jump shit. So he got to work the way everyone does these days. He found a YouTube channel called Ride Like a Pro. The coach's concept is to ride fluid. It made sense. Old Dick had tried to brute force his jumping skills instead of approaching it mentally. Since he meditates daily, he was able to take the concept of bike yoga he learned to another level. Bike yoga is simple. You lay on your back while holding the bike in the air like you're riding it. You go through the motions of jumping over and over again, learning the fluid motions and committing them to muscle memory. However, once he got to Rockburn Skills Park, those movements repeatedly got lost in the chaos that was the actual jump line. So, after 5 hours of continued failure, he took a 2-hour break and sat in his car meditating. He visualized the line that he now had memorized, while writing it in his head over and over again until he could consistently clear every jump. His discovery of combining his mentally visualized success with the repeated physical failures allowed him to return to the line and clean it after 2 attempts. He spent the next 5 hours repeating it over and over again. It wasn't perfect, but it was still a breakthrough. He was able to jump confidently. It had been a brutal year of riding, rides that induced vomiting in the woods, rides where he thought he was going to pass out or die. A year that now all came together with a simple mental game that he had learned to play. The only thing he had left to do was to pass this along to his tribe. The next day, everyone learned how to jump based off the learning experience from the permanent resident of the smoking section, the guy that always brought up the rear. The guy that took every joke in stride because it was funny. He was pathetic and couldn't keep up with the others. He knew it, but he doesn't compare himself to others. He never has. He only compares himself to who he was yesterday. But now he was the one with the ability to take everyone to the next level. Funny how that works. All you have to do is show up, put everything you can into something, and you graduate from old Dick in the smoking section to the mighty Dick, boosting your entire tribe to the next level. And it all started with a delusional goal, a fantasy, wanting to shred bike parks while still struggling to survive a simple trail in the beginning of this journey. All he had to do was consistently put in the work while visualizing the end result. It sounds so simple when said out loud, doesn't it? That's because it is. It's the actions that need to be taken that are hard. That's what separates the men from the boys, the losers from the winners. Which one are you? Nobody cares about your 99 problems, especially if one of them is a lame-ass excuse. They only care about the positive, constructive actions you are taking. That's what earns respect. The struggle is real. No shit. What are you doing to achieve your goals? Any of them? At Bryce Resort, they successfully completed their first bike park trip. Nobody died, and they were able to jump with confidence. Afterwards, the work continued with bigger jumps, like the ones here at Germantown Skills Park for the next year. The goal was 2 parks, Bryce and Mountain Creek. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it journey. There is still a ton of work to do to continue to make progress.
The fact of the matter is, urgency is what this guy's missing. You have no sense of urgency. You don't have dread, fear, absolute terror instilled in your heart about what your future is going to look like. You've never envisioned what your life will turn out to be if you don't do everything you're supposed to do. Isn't there a saying where they tell you literally, choose your struggle, the struggle of doing everything to become the best person? It's a struggle being fat, and it's a struggle being fit. Choose. It's a struggle being broke. It's a struggle being rich. Choose, bro. You don't get to sit there and complain on the couch. Where's the urgency? Wouldn't it be nice if you got your shit together and become the man you could be? You have the potential. You're already most of the way there. The only thing missing is action. You got ideas swirling around in your head about being a better man. You're already doing a majority of the work. Most people are sleepwalking. The people that don't see this video are literally asleep at the wheel in life, accepted the NPC narrative. This is the path you take. Retire at 66, live 5 years, die. No wanting to be better. You accepted the safe path and all it has to offer you, which is mediocrity. You know that. You can feel that life has more to offer.
Let's take a look at that Bryce trip they were preparing for. The results of 2 years of putting in work. far from perfect, but light years away from the beginning. All it took was work and vision. Most of the footage you have been seeing while our boy Bo serves up the truth is from Mountain Creek, the gnarliest technical trail the tribe has ridden to date, and one of the funnest green flow trails. Yes, that is a green trail. Mountain Creek is no joke.
Also, you gotta do some soul searching. Ask yourself, why are you afraid to start? Whether you're 40 or whatever it is, dude. What is holding you back? You ever done some digging, some introspection, and figure out why you act the way you act? What childhood trauma you got? What insecurity has bubbled up to the surface, manifesting itself externally in the day-to-day that you live? You ever sat down and wrote everything on your mind and journaled exactly what insecurities you're feeling and why? You never stepped up to the plate and did something? A lot of us have these problems, dude. You're not unique. We all literally deal with the same shit. The difference is some guys will actually spend the time to do the work and figure out why the hell it is that they feel this way. Why did they make that decision? You've ever asked yourself, like, why I make the decisions I make in life? Where did I inherit these sets of behaviors from? Does it come from your father? Does it come from your mother? Does it come from the group of friends you hang out with? What is it that's holding you back, dude? What is it that is making you unhappy, unsatisfied with life? If you can't answer these questions, you're never going to figure out how to get past all this bullshit and become a new man. And that's the self-work I'm talking about that most people actually don't do, because those are the painful questions to answer. You really want to stare in the mirror and be brutally honest with yourself about why you're such a weak bitch, why you're so fucking pathetic, why you can't do the things you dream of doing. Can you even make a promise to yourself? Why do you fucking hate yourself so much? You ever had that real conversation? Why do I keep doing a little bit, start to do well, then I let my foot off the gas, then I go even lower than before? Oh, I fell off the wagon again, now I have to start over. Why are you toe dipping? Why don't you ever commit to something you do in life? Where does this shit stem from? When you start to do this self-work, you'll start to get the answers, man, of why you're that bitch. That's just the only way to put it. I can't be nice about it. Literally, it's how I talk to myself. I have to create a sense of urgency. We're all running out of time. I have to create scenarios in my head about when the worst case things could possibly happen.
Ola Dick fully understands the dilemma of diminishing gains that come with age. This is why he has been focused the last several months on preserving the longevity of his body. The first 2 years were focused on building himself back up. This year will be focused on sustaining it for as long as possible through massage therapy, eating healthy PT, and float therapy to aid in recovery time, in case you've never heard of float therapy.
Alright, so this here is called a float chamber. This is where they stick you to float around for about an hour, meditate, contemplate all the poor decisions you've ever made in life.
Like his massage therapist says, he's not broken, just damaged.
Do you not think of this shit as a man? Do you have the habits, the day-to-day routines and character of what you need to do to get to where you need to be? You never sit there and ask yourself this shit. Dude, my mind, this is all I ponder. Are you living that authentically? Are you at least attempting to be a better man? Or do you just say that shit out loud because it makes you feel good and you go back to eating fucking Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew, jacking off and playing video games all day? Oh, your bank account's still low. Still haven't picked up that project. Still doing the bare minimum at work. You want to get a raise. You want to distinguish yourself from your colleagues. You're the dude that clocks in late. You're the dude that leaves early. You're the dude that does the bare minimum when you get the bare minimum pay. You're also the dude that complains why life never gives him a break. It's crazy, huh? Stop being that guy. I don't know what it's going to take for you to hit rock bottom and finally make that change in your life. I'm hoping you never have to get to rock bottom to make that change in your life. Maybe a video like this helps you get the spark you need to finally sit down. Did I instill some dread into you? Am I making you a little bit more afraid? Are you feeling bad about yourself? Do you feel like shit? Are you probably eating some shit you're not supposed to right now? Are you doing some shit you're not supposed to right now? Skipping whatever you should be doing? You know the routine. You know the answers. We all do. We're not stupid. Don't ask questions like, how do I lose weight? You already know exactly what you need to do. It's the work you're afraid of. You want to get a faster mile time? You know what you need to do. Don't ask questions. You want to get bigger muscles? Hey man, the gym's down the street. The fuck are you not in there for? Why are you asking simple ass questions that you already know the answers to, but it's really just a coping mechanism to pretend to get a little dopamine hit of, at least I acknowledge the problem somehow, temporarily, by speaking it out into existence and somebody hearing me and validating my claim. Oh, good for you. You're so gonna get fit after New Year's. Diet starts Monday. Bro, how many Mondays have passed? Your body still looks like dog shit. Explain this. Sit down in the mirror. If you need to hate me, do it. If I make you feel insecure, that's great. If I'm eliciting some emotion right now, perfect. Sit your ass down, look in the mirror, and have a real conversation with yourself for the first time ever in your life. You want me to spell out the fucking alternative for you? You're gonna be broke. You're gonna be dependent on the government. When you're old as shit, nobody's gonna show up at your fucking funeral. Nobody's coming to save you. You're a man. You're not gonna be able to help your family when shit goes south. What girl would even want you? You can't hardly support yourself. You really want to enjoy life in mediocrity, stuck in a dark room. The only dopamine hit, the only existence you get to feel is digitally on a screen, mashing buttons. That's good enough for you? The only woman you'll ever feel in your life is either going to be some AI girlfriend or some fucking video or some chick charging you $5 a month to acknowledge you exist. That's what you want. That's your alternative. That doesn't scare the shit out of you at all. How are you not angry? How are you not seething with rage right now? How are you not powered by it to show up at the gym every single day and do what you have to do? Isn't it wild that somehow, some way, somebody, whether it was your family, friends, or society, has convinced you to be docile in your life and not make a change? Who was that? Who told you it's okay to be below average, to be mediocre, to not ascend for the greater things in life, to not reach for the stars? Who convinced you, bro? Who broke you? Who was that person? If you need to, make a fucking enemy up in your head. The amalgamation of everything you hate in this world. Every painful experience, every traumatic event, everything you ever hate to look at deep in your psyche. Turn that into a person then. Use that as fuel. Or you can stare down that eternal, mediocre, victim-ass life you're already living and doing it for another 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, depending on your age. You're gonna sit around and watch everybody else get after it. You think they're special, bro? You think they got something on you that's any different? Absolutely not. They're not God's gift to earth. This is all it takes. Hard fucking work, your own 2 hands. Don't let the world convince you that the system's against you, that this is against you, that it's impossible to come up from your situation because X, Y, and Z. That's bullshit. That's exactly the mentality they use to hold your ass down. I am capable of more. What's the difference between me and the guy who made it? Why is that guy living the life I want to live? Well, it turns out once you dig into all this shit, very little. You'll find out most of the time, you're either as skilled and gifted, if not more. That guy just shows up every day. He figured out the key, the consistency. Every single day, he's doing the shit that you don't. That's it, dude. It's not fucking magic. So is 40 too old? No, it isn't. Quit being a bitch. That's my message for today. A little raw. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Here it goes. Mighty Dick.
And he's gone.
Thank you very much for watching. If you were mildly motivated to stop making lame-ass excuses in your life, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Don't worry, we won't tell anyone you did.
Data transfer complete.